So apparently some people are also interested in how I do some glitchy stuff, since I don't have a lot to say to that, because I do it in a fairly easy way. Not a lazy way, but an easy way. I think the best way to show this to you is just by a simple demonstration. So I have the free demo version of Battery 3 loaded 2 times in here now. And the first one is the Dragon Kit. So you can hear it's very aggressive, and the basic beat just sounds something like this. So you see, nothing special. More interesting is the second one. In here I loaded the glitch kit. And if I unmute this, you will hear some nice glitchy stuff. Perhaps I can turn this thing louder a bit. Okay. Now here you see the MIDI track of this one glitchy stuff. The way I started off with this is I just listened to the basic beat, and then I simply just start clicking some different glitch noises more or less randomly in there. As you can see, I just worked my way from the upper ones down to the ones below. So I just went through all those one after the other. And then afterwards, when I have a starting point, I try to fine tweak some things in the beat to make it more interesting. For example, the triplets in here are very specific. You'll notice this has a sort of groove to it in the end. Also, the triples in here make it sound more electronic, although this is pretty electronic already. Anyways, you'll notice what I'm talking about when I press play. So with this approach and this procedure, if you use some glitchy electronic kits and just click the stuff in there, then the hardest thing is really just to overcome the limitations of your creativity, nothing else. So, but to add a little bit more spice and more glitchiness in there, I added on the Dragon Kit this glitch VST. I guess many of you are already familiar with this. If not, it's for free. Just Google glitch VST. It rhymes. But I usually refrain from using one of those random presets because those tend to make people very lazy. I don't want to be lazy, although sometimes I am, to be honest. But for this demonstration, I put a little bit more effort in there and made something like this. As you can see, I use most of the effects in this glitch VST. I will run you through those different effects now. So this first one is called pre-trigger. What this one basically does, it takes a very short snippet that's coming in at the beginning of this effect, and it's taking that short snippet and putting it again and again, as long as this effect goes. That gives it a kind of machine gun effect, you could say. And with the speed knob in here, you can set how often the snippet is being repeated. The length in here determines how big the gaps are between those snippets. And then you can do some other cool stuff with some pitch changing, whether it goes down or it goes up during this effect, or whether it's changing the speed. Well, then let's go to number 4. Oops. It's called Shuffler. So what this basically stuff is taking some snippets throughout this time frame and putting them at random. You'll notice what kind of effect this has. It's actually pretty cool. Now, number 1 is a tape stop that basically makes the incoming signal go slower, just like the name says, as if you would stop a tape. Then number 6 is a crusher. You can imagine it to be a bit crusher. You'll also notice what this sounds like, very computer-like. Then number 8 is a delay. That means a very short delay, as you can see here, just 20 milliseconds, sort of. You can do all kinds of stuff in there as well. Number 9 is stretcher. Also, it does what the name implies. It stretches the incoming audio to be longer. The gator is also pretty cool. What this does is make a sort of stutter effect. So if there was some incoming audio into the gator, it just would mute this incoming audio at a frequent speed. So you have this, whereas the re-trigger is more of a, if that makes any sense to you. So I'll just show you again before and after. Sounds pretty freaky, and this gives a nice spice to the whole beat. Then on the glitch kit, re-single this one. I also put the glitch VST. As you can see, there's nothing going on because I simply put it the modulator effect as general effect. That means no matter what's going on in here, whether it's nothing, whether it's everything, the modulator effect being set to general is being labeled all over. So I can't really explain to you what the modulator effect does specifically. It's very hard to explain. The best way to show you what it does is if I put the settings very, very extreme. You'll notice it's a weird 80s computer effect. So that's a pretty hard setting in there. If I turn down the sine wave mix, the whole modulator is based on a sine wave that's being layered over the incoming signal. And then there's a frequency modulation going on in the sine wave that's being triggered by the incoming signal. I guess would be the sort of going into the right direction of an explanation, but I'm not too sure. Now if I put the sine mix to only 5%, and now it has a little bit of this computer effect in it, and it sounds cool. If I play everything together now, it sounds even better. So you see, I do it in a kind of easy way, although it still takes some time and tweaking to get out of it what you want. I advise you, please don't be lazy with this particular plugin because it tends to make a lot of people lazy. And I also use this particular plugin for the intro of my song Enter Infinity, but not the version that's uploaded to YouTube right now. I still remixed and remastered the song and added some glitchy effects in the beginning with all those weird sci-fi pets, noises, sounds going on. Blech. I'm sorry if that was not into detail enough for you. Unfortunately, I don't know too much about creating your own glitch sounds. But anyway,